because in the pursuit of something, what you don't know could cost you the battle. So you have to up that knowledge, continue to gain that understanding, and then if and when you think you're ready to pursue it, then it has to be, number one, intentional.
What's going on, family? Kevin and Jesse here with you guys today, the Elite State of Mind podcast. As always, our goal is to listen, learn, and grow. Jesse, how you doing today, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I am wonderful. I am doing amazing. Family, make sure you guys like, follow, and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram page. Hit that little bell on YouTube so that you get notified every Wednesday as Jesse and I come to you guys to help you listen, learn, and grow. Family, what we're going to talk about today, the pursuit of love. Last time we talked about the study of love, talked about what it takes to, get to know love in the relationship setting. But today, let's get into the pursuit of love. Jesse, how can we be in the pursuit of love?
Well, in order to pursue it, you got to understand it.
Right.
So we, like we said before, our study of it gives you a base level, a baseline of what you know and what you don't know. Because in the pursuit of something, what you don't know could cost you the battle. So you have to up that knowledge, continue to gain that understanding, and then if and when you think you're ready to pursue it, then it has to be, number one, intentional.
Those are facts, and intent is a big thing, in dealing with the pursuit of love. Because, if you're not, love is a dangerous thing. It can be. Let me say this.
It can be.
Just like we need water to survive, you have to have it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But water also caused the Grand Canyon. It erodes rock and steel and any other substance left on and unattended to. So make sure as you pursue love, like you said, you are intentional in where you're placing your love, where you are pursuing this love, who you are pursuing it with, what kind of love y'all are pursuing. You don't want to be caught pursuing a agape love and somebody else is only pursuing an eros love.
Right. That happens a lot, though.
Ooh.
It happens a lot.
What do you feel leads to that happening all the time? That we're all seem to be pursuing different types of love.
I think it just comes to the level of communication, the level of understanding. Some individuals progress faster than others through those stages.
True.
Initially, it's all going to be about what we see. Like if we call a spade, people are really being honest. Like your attraction level. Like you said, that's that eros, right? What you see is there. From there, you want to move into that friendship, right? Phileo, you're trying to get there. You're trying to build, a bond, like one that's the solid foundation,
right?
Is being a friend, and like you said many times before, man, as humans sometimes, man, we just suck at being a friend, right? It makes me think about that Golden Girls song. Thank you for being a friend.
Hey, people don't know how deep that is.
Right? It's very deep, right? To say thank you for being a friend. That this person with intent said that, hey, man, I'm going to be here. I'm putting myself in the middle of your existence. I'm going to study what you have going on.
Right.
So that I can help if and when you need it. I'm not just going to jump in there and, cap and save them.
Right.
But if and when you need me, I've paid attention to what's going on in your life, what you got going on, what's important to you, the things that make you tick and go, that, I can be there for you. And, a lot of people get it confused because they think if you study in that way, then, you have ill intent. No. What we're doing is just really building a solid foundation of friendship. And that's what it takes, no matter which way it's going to go. That's what it takes. But to get back to the question, I think it moves for some people faster than others through that, I think, because of their level of awareness of what's going on. If you meet an individual, and of course, you're stuck on the eros and that's all you stay, I think men, we're more guilty of this than the women. That's where we stay, and we think everything is good when they progress, from that to, that brotherly love until that, okay, let's see what's really, do we have anything, is any depth here? That gets us in trouble relationally.
Right. Do you feel, because obviously as men we are very guilty of, always being in pursuit of that eros love, and like you said, and staying there. Sometimes we linger there a little too long. We done lingered by the brook.
Yeah.
We done let the raven come and go.
For sure.
Right. All the dangers. All the dangers.
Yeah. Yeah.
But do you feel that sometimes it's because we're doing that because we're not in the place where we're ready to, and then then the other side, for women, because sometimes their friend group can be big. Mm-hmm. But, as we learn, growing up, you don't need 36 friends.
No, you don't.
You need 2 or 3 solid ones.
You don't need 36
right.
of them.
How can we, as we begin to relate to each other, understand, one, as men, we're always going to need that eros desire.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But, for them, it's maybe you ought to shrink some of this friendship love.
Mm-hmm. I think the only way they're able to really do that is if we step to that plate as men and are really able to fulfill, some of those roles. We can't fulfill all of them. Right. That's the mistake. I think we see people, we're talking about, they got toxic love. That's because they're trying to be, the end all be all.
Right.
For, their person. That's not how that works. Okay. You're to relate to them and be there for them, but they also have a need for their outside friends also.
Very, very true.
Right? They have to have a life with you. Like they're building a life with you, so they should already have some things going on before you make that decision to even do that. Mm-hmm. You take inventory of what they got going on. Right? Have friends, they have activities, what are the things that they're doing hobby-wise and all of that. Take into account because y'all can't be together 24/7. You got things you got to do. It's just not as healthy as it is portrayed a lot of times.
No, I mean everybody needs their own space to to one deal with themselves.
Yeah. Yes.
You need some space to escape so that when you are in a place where that eros love can't solve an issue,
right,
and you want to cuss somebody out, that you don't,
right.
And I would say this for the fellas, like you said, be ready to be a friend. Mm-hmm. And being a friend, it involves a pursuit of love and intimacy outside of a physical. Mm-hmm. So once you, but fellas, I'm going to say this, once you decide to do this with that particular person, be ready for that. Because not everybody needs your friendship.
No.
Not everybody is ready for your friendship, for your phileo love.
Right.
Not everybody deserves your phileo love. Mm-hmm. Now, sometimes you got to give some love to those who are undeserving because it was given to us. But we have, like you said, we have to do a better job as men as stepping to the friendship plate. Yeah. Creating that solid foundation in the pursuit of, the love that I feel we all want. We all want that. Like we talked about last time, what's that movie they all like, The Notebook? Everybody wants that, The Notebook love. Or that that white picket fence love, however that looks for you. But what so many people miss, and I think especially men in those type of movies, is those things were based on friendship. Yeah. They were based on a high level of friendship that, either one, these people came back together or they survived a test of time.
Oh, yeah, I think it's always going to be a combination of the two, right? At some point in time. And also, to a point you made just earlier, is about friendship intimacy. Mm-hmm. That's huge, right? Into me, you see. Right. Right? You're trying to figure out exactly, what's going on, and that takes time, right? It's going to take some time. It's going to take, like you said earlier, some intention. It's going to take just an onslaught of study. Yes. It's going to take some observation. Observing them with, their friends. Right. Their friend group is one of the best ways. And as men, okay, we understand we designed, to hunt, whatever. So use your skill in a positive manner, in a positive way. Stop lending your skill over to the evildoer side.
Oh, stop being an evildoer. Stop being a Disney villain.
Stop that. But use the skill set for what it was actually intended. Right. To do, which is to have and create a high level, relationship.
Right. Because as you said, as being hunters, you used to, you study, the migration of different, animals and where they went and why they went these places and what was here, what was there, why the seasons would cause them to leave, this place. Well, as you know, in our human nature, we're going to do some of the same things.
Yes.
So like you said, if you observe her, with her friends, and then if you allow yourself to see her in all her seasons, well, you got to do that outside of an eros love.
Yeah.
Because an eros isn't there for all the seasons.
No.
It's hitting you with the only for one night.
Yeah, it's
That's all the eros is for.
It's eros is for the cuffing season. You know,
Hey,
it's what everybody
watch your sweatshirts, fellas. Watch your
gosh.
sweatshirts. It's that time of year.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to step into that phileo love so you can be there in all the seasons. And are you a great cheerleader in your pursuit of love?
Yeah.
Are you a great supporter in your pursuit of love? Are you able to just be a safe space? Are you able to be quiet in your pursuit of love? And one thing that for guys that we do have an issue with sometimes is we always want to be the fixer. It's just innate. It's innate in us.
Yeah.
And it takes, a lot of emotional intelligence sometimes to see a problem, especially with, the person whom you love, and to go, okay, they're trying to figure this out.
Yeah.
And me trying to hammer away at this nail is only making it worse.
It's gonna make it worse. Yeah.
Me trying to present all the solutions right now is only going to make this problem, then what happens is the anger that was directed at whatever the issue was,
it's turned towards you now.
it leaves that, and now you got to deal with it. And you're like, hold on, I was just trying to help. No. There are many different ways to help, like you said, in that pursuit of love. If you've done the study, and if you've become a good friend to yourself in your pursuit of love, and you understand that too, sometimes to figure things out, you got to just sit there and be still, listen to that still soft voice, and go, how do I do this? How do I? Okay. Now it's the same way with somebody else.
Yes.
If you need a moment of peace and quiet, they probably need a moment of peace and quiet.
Pretty sure they do.
We all walk around our house from time to time and talk to ourselves.
You should.
And in the conversation of ourselves, we're talking about, oh man, XYZ happened. Oh, that's how I can fix that. Sometimes people just need a sounding board. And we have to be able to do that. But just let me pose to you this question: how can for the women out there who are in pursuit of this love, how can they be better friends to the bros?
Oh, well, I think just understanding that any guy is looking to be respected. And one of the main issues that we run into as we progress in age is we're very particular about tonality. We're particular about how you say what you say. So if you were to study those things, you would receive a whole lot more.
Yes.
Right? We would avoid a lot of potential conflicts.
Right.
We'd find more solutions that lead to resolution based upon that principle that a soft answer
turns away wrath.
It's going to turn away wrath, right? And that is a focal point, should be a focal point of the communication there. That, you can ask, you can say something crazy and outlandish, but if the tone is one that is soft,
facts,
and it is subtle, it's going to be received like, oh, you just joking. But you give me that hard, you give me that hard, you need to go go put this somewhere.
Who you talking to?
Hold on, man.
Who you talking to? Because I know it ain't me.
Like, hold on.
Let me check the closet real quick. Somebody trapped in the closet like R. Kelly. Yeah. That's got to be who you talking to.
Pretty much. So understanding that, that has to be, it's going to be the focal point. Because all of our communication is going to stem from that right there.
Right.
Whether or not we're listening, we turn on the listening ear and turn it off based upon that right there.
Facts.
And I don't think many, it's not talked about enough. But it is a fact. It is very much true that, hey, that softness there, that taking that approach is going to get a lot accomplished, a lot done. And so instead of us getting to a point of anger or being, argumentative, whatever, we can actually hear one another.
Right.
And that's the issue a lot of times in our communication. We're not hearing and understanding, comprehending what the other is saying because we allow these negative emotions to come in because of how we're saying what we're saying.
Right.
So definitely watch that. Understand that, you're your guy is really simple. Like,
Facts.
it's really simple.
Facts.
Like, very simple. It doesn't take a whole lot to. I was listening to a lecture the other day where the guy was saying, "Hey, a lot of men, we have this box. We compartmentalize. We're able to do that." And so he compared. He said, "Hey, we have boxes, and women have wiring
True.
that is balled up like a yarn ball. Okay, so everything connects.
Right.
Like with us, everything doesn't connect.
Nope.
It's all separated. So we have a box of nothing."
What's in your nothing box?
What's in your nothing box? So we can be doing nothing, we can be saying nothing, we can be thinking nothing, and just be in bliss.
Right.
And what he said, like, that is an annoyance factor for many women in the relationship. We was like, let's just flip that. Like, it's okay. Like, that nothing box is a good thing for him and for you.
Yes.
So when you ask questions like, what are you thinking? And your guy says, nothing.
In the nothing box.
I mean, that is the absolute truth.
Yeah.
He's in the nothing box because it's peaceful
Yes.
and it's absolutely nothing right now. So when you ask the question, it then turns on like, oh, okay, well, let me jump out of this nothing box and let's see, based upon the question, what box I need to get into.
Right. Do I need to be in the go do something box?
Right.
Are you hungry box? Or the, in any of those other things, I need to now recalibrate my energy and get ready to go do something else.
Yes.
Very, very, very true. And, one of the big things, like you said, is the learning of language. And, we were talking about this, earlier, is not that, many of us don't know words. We know words.
Yes.
Right? But like you said, it's the tonality. But then you have to go that step further and, one, what type of words does your guy use? What type of words does your woman use?
Yes.
What type of books do they read? Because if we can't learn the language that each other speak, can I speak your emotional language?
Yeah.
Can you speak my logical language? Because if we can never step inside that, for each other, then we're doing a very poor job of pursuing love.
That's right.
Just on a friendship level. If you're a guy here with female friends and you don't know her emotional language, you're just not a very good friend.
Yeah, no, you're just not.
And there aren't many female friends that you're going to find, if they can't speak your logical language, they're going to be able to help you in the way you're going to understand. So what are you doing? Wasting time.
Wasting time.
And stop wasting time. Time costs too much to waste it, right?
Indeed.
In the pursuit of love, fellas, the pursuit of that eros is going to cost you. It's going to cost you financially. It's going to cost you spiritually.
Mentally.
It's going to cost you mentally.
Mentally, it's going to cost you.
You're going to miss out on some opportunities in a pursuit of a love that you can find inside of something else. Right. That eros love, obviously, that's the first thing that brings us to another, especially for men. We are visual creatures. And we will be visual creatures until we close our eyes.
That's right.
For good.
That's right.
Even Stevie Wonder can't see, still visual.
Right.
So, anyways, I digress just for a moment. Just for a moment. But then, as you said, in laying this concrete foundation of this phileo love, how do we best pursue that, gentlemen? How do we best go after, those things, and the learning of these different languages, the learning of, the emotional intelligence that we must portray as men. One, understanding these emotions, when to portray these emotions, and understanding what's being said inside of the emotions. Because many times women are going to say things to you wrapped and laden in emotion, and it's not that they don't mean what they say, but it's only that they mean what they say as long as that emotion lasts.
Right. And ladies, help us out. Right. You get this portion. If we're on point, if we're on par, let us know. If not, comment, hit us back. Let us know the psychology of that, because we are very much curious.
Very, very, very much so, because I that's not in my box.
Right.
I don't have that. I'm ill-equipped in that sect of life. That's not in my box of, I can say something to you, but then as soon as that's done, as soon as that emotion changes, I really have no recollection
of what was said.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you think so many times, if there was a point in time where, maybe you were having a heated discussion or something and you were trying to stay, peaceful, And then maybe the discussion went ahead and it went to a place that wasn't peaceful, right? Well, then after, a little bit, they come back and they want to lay on you and, you're like, nah, fam, I'm still ready for war. We need ding, ding, round 2. Let's fight some more. But you're just like, how'd you move from that emotion so quickly?
I think that's a skill that we as men can definitely learn from.
Mm-hmm.
Right? To be able to move from one to the next. To one point of, this is the thought, to I need to establish a new thought so I don't allow this old thought to produce an emotion that I really don't want to come to fruition.
Now that's a big thing, because those emotions, if you stay there, they'll manifest themselves in real time, in real space and time.
Yes.
Whatever those emotions you are portraying. I was reading The Power of Awareness, and he was talking about this lady who she worked for this gentleman, and they just had a really contentious relationship. And so when she went to see, I believe it was, the man who wrote the book, Neville Goddard, when she went to see him, he said, on your way to work, what is your conversation with this person? What type of things are you portraying in your mind before you? Yeah, I'm giving him everything I got. I'm giving him peace of my mind. I'm telling him off. I'm telling him, where he can go. He's like, well, try this for me. On your way to work, have pleasant conversations with him. Have peaceful interactions.
Yeah.
And he said, about a month's period of time, she came back. She was like, man, we have a great relationship now, and he praises me for my work. He like, because you manifested those things based upon what you believed and what you wanted to actually happen. So often, our interactions are going to be based on what goes on in our subconscious mind.
Yes.
Because if you can learn to control that, like you said, the storehouse of infinite knowledge, the highest level of intelligence, the way you commune with that is your subconscious.
Yep.
And if you can control what plays in your subconscious, you probably have a lot better interactions.
Definitely.
Listen, let me pose this question to you. When we are pursuing this love, when we are in pursuit of love, how do we determine if we're in pursuit of love or lust?
Very good question.
Because sometimes they can be wrapped up in the same thing.
Yeah, they can.
Smell the same.
Yeah.
Look the same. They can even speak the same.
Well, that's where we're going to actually know the difference.
Okay.
Is in the speech, right? The same thing that, Jesus told the disciples, their speech betrays them.
Okay.
Right? So that's always going to be a point of not contention, but that's the point where you can tell, difference between the two is their speech. A lust speech doesn't have much depth. It can't.
Right.
Because for it to have much depth, then it's going to automatically transition itself into a brotherly to an agape love.
Facts.
Right? Because then the conversation causes a deep dive into, like you said, not just from the conscious, but to the subconscious mind. A lust conversation is just going to be on the conscious mind level.
Right.
Right? And what's going on? It's going to be a very surface level. That's the term they use right now.
Yeah,
surface level conversation, the surface level type of love. That eros, that lust is it's a powerful thing because it's led by a chemical reaction to it, right? So we're getting, those positive, endorphins being released there. So as you transition, from that to, a love that has more depth, then it's not so much chemically based.
Right.
It goes then to, it's going to be more of an intention. Because again, we're moving from the conscious to the subconscious.
Right.
So its depth is going to be one that, when all else around you might be unknown,
right,
or chaotic, then subconsciously because of the repetition that's taking place, right? You think often, well, how do we know we love God? Because He first loved us. Right. That's been a repetition. Right, that's been through generations, over and over again. So when we connect ourselves to, an infinite storehouse, then we're able to receive said vibration that's been going on for generations.
Yes.
Whereas a lust level of love is just, hey, what I see. we got the whole Garden of Eden situation going on then.
Right.
Oh, I see. Oh, it looks good. Well, didn't the rest of the fruit look good too? Yeah,
Right.
it did, but this one looks a little better. Well, what about it is exactly it looks a little better?
Right.
Was it better because it actually visually is better? Or is it better because of what you've seen and because of what was also told to you?
Right. Right.
Oh, okay. So now we're getting somewhere. So the combination of the two then, well, not the fact you can't really do that. It's the fact that, hey, you might know the difference between this and that.
That the big sometimes the biggest problem is either when choice is given or choice is taken away, right? And and in that eros love, like you said, it doesn't deal in high levels of choice.
No,
it's I see, I want, because chemically all you know is now something inside of me has awoken.
Yeah.
But see that phileo love, that agape love, it's based upon a high level of choice and intent daily. You see, in your pursuit, you have to choose to pursue love daily, because there are going to be days you don't want to.
Facts.
There are going to be days. I mean, there are people out there that have days they don't want to love themselves.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to have somebody come along and tell you, no, you got to keep loving yourself. One, you got to love yourself because I love you.
Right.
You got to love yourself because, you have a support system around you, and because you're needed and you still have things that you need to do.
Facts.
Right? But we have to understand that if you stop making the choice, if you no longer have the intent to pursue love, now the only thing you have is to pursue lust.
Yeah.
And if you don't desire what it is you're pursuing, you will go pursue it somewhere else.
Yeah, it's temporal, right? It's a temporal thing. It's solely based upon what I see at the moment, at the time.
Right.
Right? It has nothing to do with, the longevity of the choice.
Facts.
But it's only just what I see right now.
Quick return.
So
on your investment.
Yeah, that's it. That's all it is.
Obviously as we're young, we all deal in those risky investments. Right? But like you said, there has to come a point in time where you're thinking, what's the long term? What's the 5-year return? What's the 10-year return? What does my 10-year self say to this? And in your pursuit of love, you have to answer those questions, or at least try to say, what am I going to be dealing with in 10 to 15 years?
Yeah. Those questions are on the table. On the other side, they're not there.
No. But if you look at whoever you are pursuing love with, and you don't honestly know if I'm going to still pursue you in 10 to 15 years, you may need to look at going a different direction.
Yeah.
Maybe y'all need to change up what you're doing, how you're getting down, or maybe you just need somebody new. Maybe you just need somebody new, somebody fresh.
Yeah.
Maybe you stale.
Yeah. Hey, that's the thing we need to do. Always check yourself first. Like you said, you the stale Dorito.
Oh no,
it's you. It's you.
Oh no, you're a chewy chip when you used to be crisp.
That's right. It's you.
That's bad. That's bad business.
Yeah, it is.
That's really bad business.
It is.
But Jesse, before we get out of here, what I'd love for you to share with the fellas, in their pursuit of love, how do they not operate in fear?
Well, you know what you want, and if you don't know what you want, that causes you to operate in fear. So know what you want. Be real with yourself. Understand, are you ready? Are you actually ready to, pursue this? Because you have to take inventory of all the things that come along with that.
Right.
Right? So make sure that you're ready and you won't operate out of fear. Your judgment won't be cloudy. It won't be clouded. You can't be taken away or taken aback by the lust cloud or whatever you want to call it, right? Whatever you want to call it.
Lust cloud, yeah.
It's over. It's over. Yeah. So you just make sure that in order for you not to walk in that fear that you know, but you got to take time with yourself to know exactly what you want, to actually be honest and know where you are,
right,
in life, in your walk of love. Just know, are you ready? Are you ready to love? Shout out to the show. Are you ready for that or not? And if you're not, then don't try to do that, because then you will operate from a place of fear. Because all the time you're constantly asking yourself, am I ready? I don't know. I'm not sure. Should I do this? I don't know. All of that. So yeah, just know. You have to have a conversation with yourself And to be honest, and if you need it outside, get you a mentor or something of that nature.
Facts.
Somebody can tell you like, yeah, I think you're on the right course. Yeah, I think you're ready. Or nah, bro, you don't have your ducks in a row. You shouldn't even be looking
for this.
Yeah.
Right. You're in pursuit of something that if you get a hold of it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you may have a boat, but it's not ready to go out into the ocean.
Not at all.
You need to be in the pond.
You're patchy. You got a patchy boat.
Patchwork boat. Some of y'all out here pursuing love with water leaking in your boat.
Pretty much.
And then you're going to drown somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
In your pursuit of love, make sure you don't drown anybody else.
Right.
Fam, that's one of the biggest things is try your best not to take somebody down with you.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and we do it so often, not out of intent, but because we don't know, because we don't have the knowledge. But in our pursuit of love, let's do our best to be as safe as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But you do still have to make sure you're not operating from that place of fear. And a lot of that, like you said, it comes from being taught.
Yeah.
And if you have found a good love, if you pursued love and done a good job, don't gatekeep. Teach others how you pursued, how you won, how you persuaded love to stay with you, how you renew that love every single day.
Yeah.
And then it'll help a lot of us, in our pursuit so that we don't get caught up in the lust cloud.
We got to get back to that, right? Mm-hmm. We got to get back to, as a community, being okay with being taught how to have successful relationships.
Facts.
Right? As men, having older men teach us. As women, having older women teach us. And listen, even if they're not, if you know that it's what you want out of life, to have successful relationships, then go pursue that. Go talk to these older individuals, because they will share information with you. They will if you ask. We don't have because we don't ask.
Right.
Right? So if we want to have success, you need to ask those who are successful.
Very, very true. Hey, family, we sure appreciate you guys for tuning in with us. Make sure y'all like, follow, and subscribe to our Apple Podcast and Spotify. We'll talk to y'all later.